Vicki is an Aries, but she's a Sagittarius moon. Because when I watch her, I think of you. And I was like, that's the spice, though. She's very...
She is very... She's always has been, yeah.
Dominic, I have to tell you, did you know I had to buy mascara to put mascara over my gray hairs? I have, like, gray hairs coming at my temple.
That's a good...
It's a life hack.
Did you learn that somewhere?
Yeah, I saw someone on TikTok do it, but actually they were using like a dye stick. Like they make little things that are meant for that for like $22. And I was like, a Wet n Wild mascara is like $4.
I know someone that uses it as a Sharpie.
You're lying.
I'm not. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's probably toxic, but probably.
So, friends, today we are talking about the Real Housewives of Orange County. I apologize. There was no good segue.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
It is what it is. But, okay, so
yeah.
I've never seen the Grand Canyon with my eyes, and I've wanted to see it.
I've driven past it.
I'm pretty sure I would cry like a baby. Mm-hmm. I'm the person that you don't want to go to a museum with because I'm easily in a museum for 4 and 5 hours. Yeah. So if I went, especially if I went to the horseshoe walkthrough, I would just lay on the ground and just stare. Like, I would be like, that's watching TV to me. I would lie there and I would just be like, so you don't want to go with me. I need to definitely go by myself because I will be like enthralled. Is that a coyote over there? Like I would have so much fun.
I enjoyed, minus their like jibber jabber, every drone shot that they had of the Grand Canyon. Even I know of that attraction, the glass bridge or whatever. I've seen many like videos and pictures of it. I don't know if I've ever seen like drone footage of it. I'm sure I probably have, but I was just kind of doom scrolling or something. And it was so magnificent and beautiful. And I think it hits differently in our political climate right now of just like data centers, this, that. And I'm just hyper fixated on this, the Earth's miraculous natural attractions like a Grand Canyon. I have also never seen it. When I was last in, my grandfather, may he rest in peace, my mom's dad, used to live in a very, very small town in Arizona. Like, I mean, not like Podunk, like it was like 3 buildings and a handful of people that lived there knew each other, kind of, and they took care of each other. It's called Dolan Springs, Arizona. But once when I was in Vegas, we drove out there.
How long was the drive?
I don't remember it being that long. I remember my best friend went with me. My mom was there for a conference with her best friend, and we all went. Part of me wants to say it's like an hour outside of Las Vegas. I could be wrong. I don't remember it being very long. It wasn't like a road trip type of situation. But I do remember driving past the Grand Canyon. It was like in the distance. But I've never like been. But it looked absolutely stunning. And I'll tell you what I was also overanalyzing. Again, not so much the content of the women, but that scene when Tamara's crying and they're all like sitting on those rocks.
That was beautiful.
And I'm just sitting here going, hey, is that really allowed, or is it because they're filming that somehow they granted them access? Because they look like they were on the edge. Now, Lady Gaga song, I don't know the logistics of the Grand Canyon. I know it's massive. In my mind, because I think of like national parks, this and that, and like a lot of times they can be so restricted of like what areas you're allowed to go into and what not. I assumed just in my daily life that the Grand Canyon's pretty restricted. How they enforce that, because it's so large and just, it's a canyon.
Yes.
Stunning. And I wanted to have that moment because if I was there, I could be there for hours. I could spend a whole day. Yeah. Like, I want to be there in the morning, watch a sunrise and sunset, and just and be one with nature. The elements. I want to experience that.
So that scene we saw was the magic of editing because they had the camera people there. So it was the angle that we had that made it look like they were right.
I'm going to pretend it was on the edge.
Big. It had to be pretty big. And, no, they probably were, you know what I mean? But I don't think it was like that. So
they were elevated. That's for sure.
Even when they were doing the zip lining, I was like, that
I know.
Is
I would have loved to do that.
I have been zip lining before and it is fun. But for something like that, I would much rather be in a helicopter or just even like a plane takeoff or landing so that I can actually look. Zip lines are super fast and you're mostly focusing on going fast You know what I mean? Your eyes are capturing what you're
sure,
seeing,
yeah.
but you're not like, oh, look at that over there. You're kind of just flying. That's why it's a zip line. So I liked it. I was cackling. I didn't think that Vicki would have been able to do it either times because usually you have to stop yourself with your legs. Kind of like if you skydive, how you see the people, they kind of run and slow down.
Right.
I was like, I don't think you should do this with a bum knee.
Well, she didn't, so you were right.
Yeah, so I wasn't shocked that she didn't do it the first time. But then I thought Shannon was so cute when she finished the second time. I really like Shannon. And I just had to say this, and then we'll get into your overanalyzed section. I had to look them up, and I think we should do a special part on our website where we talk about like the astrological signs of the characters, of the cast members, because it really makes a difference. I'm watching, and I was like, oh my gosh, Shannon is a Virgo, 100%. She's super like, this is who I am. This is
she's an Aries.
She's an Aries.
Yeah, her and Vicki.
She's an Aries sun, which is what people say when they say what's your sign, but she's also an Aries moon, and the moon sign is who you are when people meet you. So I was like, oh.
You would have loved her first season because she talks a lot about that. That's how how her and Vicki first met, which was at whose party? Tamara's party. It was like a Halloween party or something like that. Pretty sure it was at Tamara's house. It was a party. It doesn't really matter. And that's where Vicki met Shannon for the first time. And they were sitting around a fire. And she said she was an Aries. And Vicki was like, I'm an Aries. And they high five. And they were friends ever since. Well, for the most part.
Vicki is an Aries, but she's a Sagittarius moon. Because when I watch her, I think of you. And I was like, that's the spice, though. She's very...
She is very spicy. She's always has been, yeah.
She is, but she's unapologetically spicy. And you're kind of like that, too. Like, I know you like to be liked and you like people to know you, but if you don't like me, fuck off. And that is Vicki. And then I looked up Heather, who I wasn't sure about Heather.
Let me guess. I want to guess. I have no idea.
Okay. This is the last one I looked up. I didn't look up all of them.
Okay. Heather gives me, oh my God, Leo?
I thought she was going to be a Leo because she's always dressed up. Leos are very about like how they present. They're very about fancy.
I was
going
to say, aren't they like very...
She's a Capricorn, so January. But that's an earth sign, which is very regimented and very like, get out of my way, here's my spreadsheet.
That's very Heather.
Stuff. And I was like, yeah.
Oh my God, my ex-boyfriend's a Capricorn. That makes sense too. I need to do better. I was into all that. But I never, and I couldn't tell you my sun, like sunrise, all that stuff. I used to know it, and I have it in my phone, and I just lost. Like, I want to get back into like understanding because I believe in all of it. Obviously, we should do an episode on that. That'd be funny. I'm curious what Tamara is.
Yeah, I love all of it. I mean, the more that I get into like the lawyer side and being logistical and very like analytical, I love the woo-woo part because we're all ruled by it. Whether you want to believe that you have a sign, you're still ruled by it either way. That's like saying, you know, global warming doesn't exist and then we have tornadoes in August. Like, you don't have to believe it to know that.
Caps melting,
What do you want to overanalyze? What's your biggest thing about episode 6 of The Real Housewives of Orange County?
I mean, I didn't really have, like I said, my first one, the first thing I thought of was, and I quite literally meant it, I was just like very breathtaken from the imagery and the scenery of the Grand Canyon. That is such a beautiful part of the United States. In conjunction with that, I don't know if I'm overanalyzing it, but I guess it's part of it, an extension from it, that has kind of made me go, wow, the perks of this show, man. When they did, where they saw like the two, I'm assuming they worked there, or one of the guys worked there, they brought them out champagne. And here's the thing, I kept looking at everyone in the back, like, if I was just visiting one day and they just happened to be here, and I see these employees bring them a bottle of champagne, I'm just wondering, like, what I would be thinking. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, you know, like, why did we have to do that? You know what I mean? Like, this is such a pure place. It is a staple in, you know, American, you know, interior of the country. We don't need no fucking champagne toast, especially when you have visitors in the background that are just like trying to take pictures. They're probably like, what the fuck is going on here? Because for all they know, maybe it's a travel ad for all they know. But I'm like, did we really have to like bougie it up to have like champagne brought out? Because not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised that they allowed that. At the same time, I kept watching people in the background on the, like when they were laying down on it, on the sky bridge or whatever it's called. I just kept watching the bystanders, actually, for some reason, and I just kept thinking, what are they thinking that this is? Like, what do they think is happening right now? So that's one thing. Nothing really I thought was... I mean, I don't know if I was overanalyzing it. I'm trying to...
Did you like this episode better than episode 5? Because you thought episode 5 was so boring.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, yeah. I have not disliked an episode yet. I've always been a proponent, like, you need slower episodes. You can't have, like, bitching and moaning at every fucking episode. Though so far we're getting a taste of it at each one to some extent.
What about the sex discussion at dinner?
This is funny. I mean, been there, done that. I've seen that on all these shows. I'm like, whatever.
Oh, I've never seen. Okay.
That's fair, right? You never watched it. I mean, you're still very new in a lot of ways to Housewives, especially Orange County. Like, I'm used to, like, I forgot who. It was in Tamara's podcast. Like when Tamara's bachelorette party in Mexico, like several years ago, like Vicki was like deep throating a penis lollipop, rainbow lollipop. Like I've seen all these things. She's always been kind of buttoned up about sex, but then takes a hard left like the last minute and be like, I love sex and blah blah blah. I'm asking for it, but she tries.
And if you don't give it to your man, somebody else will.
And I'm like, I don't know if I believe that 100%. Well, maybe straight guys.
1950s. No, I am not aspiring to that. I
don't hate that mentality, especially
unless someone else could be his hand. But I'm not saying if I didn't sleep with you this week, you got a free pass. You know what I mean? That's how I heard it. I was like, because the reverse would have to be true. Oh, he cheated because you didn't take care of him. That is not my responsibility.
Yeah.
So
I agree. The only thing that was interesting about that conversation was, and none of it surprised me, but like, who would want to schedule sex versus not? I thought Vicky's response was kind of funny and very her of like, I could schedule at 4 p.m., but then I'm working, so I'll probably miss it. So what's the point? I'm like, that is very her to say that. And also, I'm like, that is not sexy to schedule sex. Like, okay, it's Tuesday, 6 p.m. We're going to fuck for a while. Like, I don't think that's...
You don't say that. You say, hey, sexy time.
That is not sexy to say it's sexy. My personal view in life, like, it shouldn't... I don't want to say it should be spontaneous, but, like, it should be... like, if you're having a date night, the flirtation should lead to like what you like would assume, like, okay, like you're looking so good tonight. Oh fuck, like I can't wait to take that shirt off. Like whatever. Like that was horrible flirting, by the way. I don't want to. I come from the viewpoint like if you have to say like it's time to have sex, like then I'm like this is a red flag for me at least. That's for me. I do not find that attractive. I actually find that like cringy.
I think it depends.
Sorry, Heather.
I definitely don't want to schedule it, but then I also don't need it to be like an expectation of date night either. But like Theo and I tease each other, right? So we'll be like, if he's like, I'm going to bed, it's 9:30, I'm like, oh, you going to have sexy time by yourself? But we've also been married going on 7 years, so we just tease each other. He's like, really, you taking a third shower today? And I'm like, no, I'm hot. And he's like, sexy time. So we would be okay with like, hey, you want to have sex? And then kind of, you know what I mean? But I think every couple gets their own language about it. But I do know that like the guilt trip part, which I think is what you're saying, of someone being like, you haven't touched me in 2 weeks, is the part that it's like, womp.
I mean, there's a conversation to be had if that's happening, right? Of course. That there could be flirtation that is hinting at like, okay, like what do you want to get into tonight? Like I just don't like blatantly saying it. I'm like that like maybe if you're married for like 30 years, sure, I guess. But I'm like I do not find that sexy. I'd be like, I was horny before, I'm not now. That's for sure.
I don't don't do hints though. Like even today, because
well, you're not a hint kind of girl at all.
I'm not a hint kind of girl, and so
you're not.
I would just have to be with someone who would just give me the like. Just tell me.
You just want to say, "Hey, I want to fuck you tonight." You in?
I mean, honestly, because I'm not a morning sex person either.
Oh,
like,
no.
That is not something I'm
That's
thinking
never
about
an option in my house.
Like, I'm trying to read a book. Yep. I'm trying to meditate. Like, do not.
Well, here's the thing. And I don't know. Like, listen, you're married. We have two different types. I'm miserable I mean, I am. I was going to say I'm single and miserable. I've never lived with a gentleman because I have never dated a gentleman. You see what I did there? I have. Sorry.
But they weren't gentlemen?
One was. I love reading at night. That is I love to be in bed with a book. I know. And that is not a shock. Most people, there's a lot of people who read. They love reading in bed. It's cozy, whatever. See, now I'm taking it back. Because I'm also the type of person, this is where I can be a real bitch. It's when I have my mind kind of made up, like, okay, this is how the day's going to go. I'm going to do this. Okay, but I'm going to go take a shower. And after that, I can't wait to cuddle. So, like, at one point, if I already made up my mind earlier in the day, like, oh, I cannot wait to be in bed and read a book. And then, like, I have a man trying to, like, take my panties off. I would not be, I'd be like, are you serious right now? I'd be more irritated than anything. Because I'm like, I just wanted to read, but my mind was already there. I guess there's no winning with me, so whatever.
I was gonna say, but that's where the communication comes in.
Communication, that's
because
fair.
Also depending on what you're reading a sexy time book.
Well, I might be. Like, I've been reading a lot of romance novels, so I mean, I am kind of turned on.
Yeah.
Sometimes it depends, but
it depends. Like I was rereading the whole Game Changer series, and like certain books you cannot read at work. Well, because you're just like, okay, I'm distracted.
She did not do anything. Actually, talk about being miserable and single. Reading, and we've read these books several. Well, you've read them a lot more, the series a lot more over and over than I have. But when I read, especially certain of the books in the Game Changer series, and I look over and it's sadly just my dog Lucy, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I'm really like, that would be an exception. If I had a man, he like touches my leg, I'd be like, oh, good. You know what part I'm reading? I would, that'd be different. Or, you know what, I think I would be receptive to if you're just blunt about it. You'd be like, you want to fuck tonight? I'm like, okay, sure. Or no.
But the thing is, you got to say that at like 6 p.m. Don't say that at 7 in the morning. Because it's like, I don't know how I'm going to feel at 6 p.m.
I agree with you.
But a couple of hours ahead, but just your luck, you're going to get with someone and you're going to be like, oh, Shane and Ilya just had fun. You want to play? And he's like, no, I'm watching John Oliver. You're like, oh, great.
I would love to date a guy that just watches John Oliver. That is like my type of guy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Well, we need to like have a house party. You can come over and like meet some of Theo's friends because we're all nerds over here who hang out.
Oh, I was like, why are they gay?
Yeah, some are.
He has gay friends. I love that.
Of course.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know anything. Well, not that. Why would I be surprised? I'm like, I don't know who he hangs out with.
Yeah, we have an inclusive group. Yes,
I'm shocked because you do come out really homophobic. That's a joke. She's not. She's a big ally. She's walking by.
I am.
She's literally wearing a gay shirt right now.
So, okay, I want to overanalyze, and this is why I like this show.
I would hope so, because you're hosting it.
My least favorite words in the world.
Okay, are?
It wasn't that bad. They say that to Shannon, they being Jen and Emily, say that to Shannon and Vicki when they don't do the zip line. They hint at it again when they talk about sex towards the end. And they also, Vicki has that same kind of judgment towards Carmela when she's not with her daughter. And she's just like, well, I know my daughter and she has young kids and she would never leave her kid. I would never left my kid when I'm that way. It wasn't that bad. It's so stupid because you can't tell me what's bad and you can't tell me what would have been bad. Like, two people can get off an airplane and have a completely different experience. If you've been on some shitty flights, you'd be like, wow, that flight was amazing. And someone else is getting off and they're just like, oh my gosh, they didn't have my champagne in first class. So I hate that. So I guess I'm saying those words it wasn't that bad. But the truth is, I don't like judgment. That's the part I want to overanalyze in this episode. Because while Vicki, Carmela, Shannon, and Gina were all in the car riding together, all the time that Carmela is speaking, they keep showing Vicki
didn't even
and her lack of reaction.
I think she had her computer open. You can barely see it, but I think she was like on her computer.
She was, but like there was a very distinct angle of Carmela and Shannon, and then there was a wider one of all four, and then it was just only Vicki with like Gina peeking behind her, and it was like, we get it. But I really want to know, did you really zoom in on everyone, or they already knew that this is what they were looking for, this divide? And so that was irritating me. And so then she comes back to Carmela at the end, and she's like, I apologize. I have big trust issues. And you know me. I'm watching the whole episode like, that's not even towards Carmela. This is bullshit. Your mistrust does not need to be projected at her. And then she goes, I am so sorry. This is not about you. It's about my other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but still, like, when you know better, do better.
Yeah.
But I love how Carmela said, oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm still keeping my eye on her. I'm not falling for that to be the end all be all. So.
Well, she should, because my pet peeve in these shows, and I see it so many times per season, franchise, whatever. My biggest one of them, this is not my biggest pet peeve. One of them can be, and this is very housewifey. It's, okay, a housewife's going to go to another to apologize for like some shitty comment that they made. Okay, cool. As one should. If it's legitimately like offensive, or if the person was offended by it, whatever, you should apologize. That's what human being adults should do, in theory. My pet peeve, though, is when they say in their confessionals, I'm just doing it because everyone's nagging me and telling me to do this, so I'm just going to like give her an apology. They say that in their confessional, but then as they apologize, it's not just an apology, right? Like kind of what you just mentioned. It's a whole explanation. Like, listen, this is not you and me, and it's this, and like, I never want to. It almost as without the confessional, it's almost as if you believe it, but we know it's not because of the confessional says otherwise. And
but she didn't do that, right?
She sure did in her confessional. She said she's like Shannon and Gina, like she was saying. They all are pressuring me to apologize. You know, I'm just going to go and apologize so we can move past this and keep moving forward. And then you see her apology, and it's a lot more sincere sounding because she's giving, you know, because in addition to that, what you said is accurate in terms of what she said and insinuated to her is extremely inappropriate. And it's like, you know what, keep those comments to yourself. If that's how you feel, whatever, you can feel how you want to feel, but you don't insinuate that someone is less of a mother or lack, you know, some sort of maternal something because they left their kids, or I don't even like that terminology because I don't even think that's accurate in this instance, but that's what she said, right? And it's like, if you were to apologize, in theory, what she said to her is what I would want to hear as the person. Either less, like, you know what I said was fucked up and I'm sorry. That would be one option. The other one is, if you're going to apologize to me, and this is Dominic speaking, not, you know, someone else. I sometimes I want to know, like, okay, I hear that you're sorry. I want to know what made you say that. If you didn't mean it, like, what's going on with you? And that's just how I am. And it's just like, it helps me understand who I'm working with more. It's like, okay, you said something really shitty and offensive to me that really hurt my feelings. I'm hearing that you're apologizing. You're going through things. I would like to understand what was it in that moment that you felt that you could say that to me. So
give me more details. Because she said, I have my own trauma, or would you want it to be, wow, flu is so scary. So when you said your daughter had the flu, I didn't understand why you would be traveling. Like, you want it to be Carmela centered? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what an apology should never be about is the person that is requiring to give the apology, right? It's not like, true, I'm so sorry, you know, it should never be the only I should be is I'm sorry. Yeah. And that's it. If you are in a bad headspace, if you are going through something and you know what, maybe someone, you know, we are all human at the end of the day, right? So, you know, I'm going through a lot of shit in my life right now but the difference is what I can tell other people And I said this to my best friend last night. I said, I'm not in a space right now. It's not personal. It's just I do not have enough in the space in my brain to hear everyone else's grievances. Like, I don't have much. I can be a sounding board to listen. I don't have anything in me like I normally do to give you anything. So I'm upfront about it. And then I said, and that means like at any point I feel like I'm just gonna fucking, explode if someone says the wrong thing to me. So with that being said, my point being is, if you say that, like, I'm going through a lot right now. This was nothing to do with you, and I greatly apologize. Cool. Then I can understand that it's coming from somewhere. Because now here's the thing. If you just say shitty things and say shitty things, well, then you're not my person. But if there's something mentally, emotionally that you're going through, maybe even physical, who knows? And that's why I think people understand, like, when people say horrible things, it is not a pass by any means. But if there is something going on in someone's life that prompted them to do that, it doesn't take the sting away by any means, but you can maybe understand there's also a human being on the other side of this. Once again, not a pass. What they do is not okay. But understanding where someone's coming from, we are a product of our environments and our experiences, But with that being said, in her confessionals, she just wanted to apologize to keep it moving. So, unfortunately, what she said to her face really doesn't hold much value. Not in my opinion. Maybe it did in that moment. And I can't stand that. I cannot stand that on these shows when they say, I'm just going to apologize to move past this guy. I don't give a fuck anymore. And then you see this really heartwarming apology in person. I'm like, well, if I'm Carmela, I'm watching this right now, I'm like, well, that's really shitty because I really believed her in that well, she kind of didn't. Or she accepted it, I should say.
Yeah. So I think, given everything that you have discussed as the housewife historian, I'm going to take what they say in the confessionals as the truth, because the confessionals are recorded after the full season. Mm-hmm. So let's say she did apologize and she thought something was happening, but because she is not recording that at the same time, maybe she knows they're not cool at the end of the season. And so she's saying, well, I just did it because they were on my ass, right? What she's saying, even if they do, there is a little bit of acting with the confessionals where you have to try to put yourself back where you were mentally and think about what was going on.
We talked about that last time, right? From interviews that Vicki has done, it is quite clear that they're not buddy-buddy. So I have to imagine as the season goes on, and we've seen it even in the trailer, that there's more to come in terms of like that they haven't shown yet, where it looks like it gets pretty tense between those two. So to your point, like I was saying last week when I was talking about confessionals of like, sometimes you shoot them 3 months down the road. So you have to pretend like, okay, maybe they're asking you a question about your friend that you were friends with at the time, but in this current moment you're not. But you have to talk as if at that moment we're friends, like, oh, I love so-and-so. We just have the most fun together. Meanwhile, in your brain, you're like, that fucking bitch, I cannot stand her. So you're right. It requires acting. So that, sure, maybe that is a part of it. Maybe in the moment, she felt like, okay, everyone's encouraging me to apologize. Maybe I should. And then the confessional came months later, and Carmela's already pissed her off more or whatever. Or she's felt that way, that she says such things. So that is also very true, too. I'm just sick and tired of hearing it, because we all know how this works at this point, 20 years. So it's like, do you mean an apology or not, bitch? Like, which one is it? Don't apologize. Here's the thing. Do not apologize, people, if you don't feel like you need to apologize. That's my rule of thumb. Not everyone agrees with that. I don't want a faux apology. So if you don't mean it, I don't want to hear it.
Caveat to, if you're at work, sometimes it's okay to just be like, oh, I apologize.
Oh, well.
And I need you to
that's
practice.
A whole game. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So I might be I might be wrong about this. Mm-hmm. But I think I saw the taglines for the first time. Or did you notice the taglines were there before?
They've been there before.
Okay, so you guys, I watch it after it's recorded so that I can skip past the commercials. So I was like, did I just watch it for the first time, or was this the first time? Okay, well, never mind. I like some of them though. I thought some of them were really, really cute. I really like Shannon's. Of course, I like Tamara's. She was like, I love Tamara's. I'm something, but it's my opinion. I was like, yes, girl.
Well, those All of hers are based upon some of her most iconic. It's a combination of some of her iconic lines.
I'm still the hottest housewife.
Hottest housewife in Orange County, and that's my opinion. So her very first tagline when she joined the show in season 3 was, "I'm the hottest housewife in Orange County."
I love that.
And so I love hers the most because they leaned into her most iconic moments, and I'm like, oh my god, yes. And that's my opinion. Is something that you have to watch that video. It's from a reunion. That was Shannon's first season, actually. I think it's one of the most iconic. That it is. Oh my god, I love it.
I think I've seen the gif of it.
It's like there's people who never watch Housewives have definitely seen it and have no idea of like what it's from.
So let's take the last 5 minutes and let's talk about the next couple episodes. What happens with Carmela and Vicki? Look, Housewives do not have to be best friends. I will say this though, from the other 5 shows we've watched, the other 4, Atlanta, Beverly Hills, Salt Lake City.
That's it.
And Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah, Rhode Island, duh.
This cast, almost every single episode, they have a full-on dinner with each other. And I think I like that. I think I like that they all get together so far for something.
Yeah. As someone has never watched this franchise, who's your favorite out of this group so far?
Shannon.
I can see
her.
why. I could see why.
I love her. I think she is so funny. And even at the end when she's crying, although I have a note that says, Heather has the worst delivery ever. Let me quote it. "You're going to find your person. You have never met anyone who deserves you." And I'm like, this is a compliment? Where are you going with this? But she does bring it back around, and Shannon starts crying because she's like, I get it. So Shannon is my absolute favorite.
I love that. Shannon. That makes me want you to watch her first season up until now, and I want to know your thoughts on her. There's something about Shannon that there is something very lovable about her. However, it's also she's incredibly annoying all at the same time. The crying, the making things like, oh my god, there's a sound behind the wall falling down. It's all so gimmick. Like it's every year, and it's so amped up, and I'm like, but
people are weird, and I'm here for weird people. People are weird. Look, we are
watch all the seasons, and you tell me if you just think it's because she's weird. I'll tell you that it's.
What else could it be?
A gimmick. I think she thinks we all thought it was funny. Like, oh my god, she fell down again, and it's like this is a theme in Housewives. Sometimes it's like, and it's always, at least in my. I have found it to be more of a negative than a positive. When these housewives find their thing that makes them think that, oh, I've won over the audience. Not saying anyone has, they will never claim this. I've never heard anyone say, yeah, this is why I did this or whatever. I think she thinks like, oh, this is my thing. I fall down. I have 2 left feet. I think she thinks that's her thing. It's like, but it's one of those where it's like, that's not a personality trait, but it's like after watching for many years, you do this every season. It's not cute anymore. It's not funny. It's just like cue when Shannon falls. It's like you can predict it before it even happens. But she is very like natural comedy in the way like she talks and some of her like. So she is funny. I see both sides, but there's some things with Shannon that I'm just like, enough. Just exist. Like enough. Like, there's no way that you are tripping in every like fucking corner of the street. Like, come on. You know how to walk by now.
She's so cute. And I have friends of like all ages. So I have my godmom who I hang out with, but she's not like, my parents didn't give me her as a godmom. She's 58 and we hang out all the time. Like we'll just go get lunch and coffee and she talks to me about work and I talk to her about stuff. And so like, I would like adopt Shannon like that and be like, let's just go hang out. What's happening in your life? Tell me what's it like to be 62 or whatever. Like just how are things?
I don't know if I'd ever say that to her. What's it like to be your age?
You would.
I will say, when I did meet her at BravoCon and took a picture with her, she was very sweet and lovely, and I said, thank you so much. I think I told you this. Actually, I made it a point, any housewife that I did meet, I made sure to express some sort of gratitude for tolerating our crazy-ass fans, us crazy-ass fans. And I just remember she was wearing this beautiful yellow suit that I believe she wore. either at one of her reunions or she was supposed to. It was something like that. Like I saw it on the show at some point. Or I think it was like from when she was on Project Runway as like they had there's a season. No, there was one season with their task was they dressed housewives for a reunion look or something like that. And it could have been from that. It was something like that. But I remember the suit that she wore. It was like a velvety yellow suit. And she was really, I said, oh, thank you so much for taking the time to do all this. I know that we're crazy and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, thank you, honey. She was very, very sweet. So she was not like a bitch or anything like that. I suppose that she could have been if she wanted to. Tamara. So Shannon, okay.
Yeah, Shannon. What about, do you have, who's your second favorite?
Tamara is also one of my favorite housewives of all time. I was trying to think about the other day because it does kind of maneuver. She's in my top 3. I'm trying to think who my third one would be. I think
top 4, because you always say that Kyle is your favorite.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, Teresa Giudice from The Real Housewives of New Jersey is my favorite housewife of all time.
Who I've never seen, so I'm excited to see.
Oh my God. I just can't. I love her, so I can't even. It is hard because it rotate. The 4th spot does rotate because some days I would say it will always be Teresa and Tamara. 3 probably would be Kyle or Giselle Bryant. So those 2 flip flop, and Giselle's not on Potomac. But then there's Portia. Portia's one of my also. It's hard to pick the later half of that. But yeah. Kyle, Giselle, Portia. I guess that'd be.
And we didn't watch Potomac because we had just got into the show.
You'll love.
And we were only doing Salt Lake City because we were like, that's it. But we'll watch it.
You will love Potomac. That should be coming out soon. I mean, I know they wrapped filming, so I don't know. There's no trailer or anything. I would say, yeah, those are my girls. Those are my. I mean, Nene, of course, is one of my. It will always be. Vicki will always be in there for me as well. Just because I do love OGs.
I really like Shannon for this one. Of course, Bronwyn for Salt Lake City. Oh, that's my girl. Yeah. And then who for Beverly Hills? Well, I really like Dorit. So Dorit
Kyla,
for Beverly Hills.
Dorit after that horrible season that she had.
I did, and then Liz, who
I know,
one season wonder, but I really liked Liz.
Someone posted a photo 2 days ago, very recently, that said, I don't know if anyone talked about this, but Liz is currently filming right now Now, she might have just been at a party and popped in for a party on the Rhode Island Housewives, but she was there, and so we might see a cameo of her next season.
I'm sure we will, because
she guest hosted a 2 season a pod episode, a couple of them, and she's really good. I'm like, you could do this, like podcasting or something. Yeah, she has a great voice for it.
Well, she's great friends with Kelsey, so that makes sense that she would still be on the season because she's really good friends with her. Now, whether or not she's still close to Cece is a whole nother thing. So
I don't, based upon what I heard her say on 2 season a pod, doesn't sound like it.
Oh, now that would be sad after so many years. But
I think she might pop in on Real Housewives of New Jersey because being Dolores' friend, I think she might be at a party at one of Dolores' parties. I think too. So we'll see her pop in and out of things.
Yeah, and get in the comments. Let us know who's your favorite
email us
on Orange County. And who's your favorite housewife? Like, just your top 5 of all times. And
or top 50.
The next time there's like a lull between seasons, we will talk about our favorite, or maybe I'll watch the reunions for first season housewives who get the first chair.
Wow, that's very specific.
Well, we talked about it in one of the prior episodes. Then let's also talk about our top 5. So yeah, we'll have stuff when there's a break, but there's not a break coming up because September.
I was gonna say, I don't know when New York is. Yeah.
Salt Lake City is at the end,
September, mid-September, something like that. Yep. I just saw it today. I was looking at it today. Potomac would be next, I think.
All right, you guys.
Okay, thanks for overanalyzing.
Bye. And bye for my special guest.
Bye. Oh, bye. So I'm still the hottest house. I'm still the house. Oh my God, Dominic. I'm still the house. Oh.
my mug. Because this little pumpkin is eating my gummy bears, but I was being discreet and going on